Hello and welcome. My name is Eddie Prue with SAF, and in the last few months, we've been getting a lot of requests from existing and new clients about how they can keep their company information safe for their work from home employees. And what we're finding is that the vast majority of work from home workers are just not protected in the way that they should be. There's been a sharp rise in data breaches, and the bad guys are taking advantage of these unprotected workers. And so we're going to do what we can to put a halt to that. We're also seeing that in different companies are needing varying levels of security. So that's why we've designed some different solutions here around that. Certain businesses need to take additional measures due to the type of information that they need protected, and is why today we're going to expand from the first webinar that we did in the series to a little higher level of work from home protection for those companies that need things like that. So today we want to build on that basic standard work from home solution and throw in some really cool things that I think you're going to like to keep you even more safe when working from home. Before we get started, to give you a little idea of what SAF is, our company, and what we're about. We are SAF, or SynActFin as we're called. We're a managed service provider here in Denver that supports IT for businesses. And basically, we say that we are your team of experts to take the burden of the information technology off of your plate so that you can get back to doing what it is that you do best at your business. So in a nutshell, we help companies make IT less complicated. We're available for our clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when problems arise, and our methodology is to take a proactive approach to make sure that things don't happen on the front side, so that there's going to be less downtime, fewer sleepless nights, knowing that your information is protected in the way that it should. And at SAF, our mantra embodies these principles. And nothing gives us more satisfaction than seeing our customers succeed. So these are really our core values. We truly believe in our clients. We believe in their ability to create successful businesses and business. We consider ourselves an extension of your company as your IT partner. We're here to support and help you grow your business with technology any way we can. We want to be a part of your team, not just the company that handles your IT. We really consider ourselves a part of your team. Our goal as a company is to make sure that your network is available 99.9% of the time, and that is a huge mark for us, and we're happy to report that we achieve that. And at the end of the day, we are there for you. So no matter what problems may arise, technology-wise, you can count on SAF that we're going to do whatever we can to handle those troublesome things and those challenges that you might have. Before we really dive in, I wanted to report some interesting statistics that I found from Pew Research, and it said that 73% of IT leaders say remote employees are a bigger security risk than when they're on site. 50% of employees globally are now working outside of their main office headquarters at least half of the week. So that's a big number, and they project that number is only going to increase. 35% have received notices that some type of sensitive information, if that might be an account number or an account or sensitive information, has been compromised. And 25%, or 1 in 4 people that are in an office environment, admit that the passwords that they're using are less secure than they would even like. Only reason being is that those passwords are simpler to remember, and they're just easier to input into those fields. So as I mentioned in the last webinar, having good endpoint security is really one of the most important things that one can do when working remotely. And continuing in that good, better, and best theme, we're taking things up a notch here. We're going to increase our level to that better level, and we call this our Deluxe Level. And this package of solutions that we put together is really taking it to a higher degree to keep that work from home worker safe. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about that. Within this deluxe level protection, as I mentioned, the basis of it all is that also important endpoint security, the InterceptX, EDR, endpoint protection from Sophos is going to be the basis of what we want to build on to increase the security for work from home workers. So continuing with that and moving past that, we are implementing what's called a cloud directory service and password management from JumpCloud. And we'll talk more about that as we go. We're going to institute a VPN, which is called the Virtual Private Network, to secure that connection of your workstation to your company's network, making that traffic back and forth invisible. Then we're going to talk about an RMM, or what's called a remote monitoring and management tool from ConnectWise, that's going to really simplify things for you and take care of issues proactively before they happen. And it's also going to give us the ability to fix things very quickly on the front side so that things don't go wrong for you. Then keeping things going to keep everything more safe, we want to integrate backups, and we've got two different types of backups that we're going to talk about. We've got our file level and our image level backup to incrementally back up your systems when you're off-site, and we'll get into that here as we go. And then finally, perhaps one of the most important aspects to this package is having access to the SAF Help Desk and the team of experts that are on hand for you with a click of a mouse or a phone call, and we'll talk about that and the number of ways that we can be, that you can contact the help desk. Some things to consider while working remotely. Chances are you're not protected behind your company's firewall when you're at home, and that just stands to reason that when you're in your office, the enterprise level firewall that you have is protecting that IT, but when at home, you're not as protected. There's going to be a greater risk of data and hardware that could get stolen. So if you have your laptop or your company asset, when you're going back and forth and you're working remotely, there's just a greater risk that hardware could be stolen and data could be gathered. There's going to be less access to the IT personnel in your office if you're just alone working in your home office, or if you run into a challenge, a lot of times you can ask someone in your office or maybe the IT person that's right there for quick help. We don't have access to that working from home as readily. There's a greater risk of personal devices being used for company use. It's going to be very tempting to use your home laptop or maybe your cell phone to access email or to send sensitive information having to do with your work, and we'll get into the reasons why we want to alleviate that. Many companies do not require a VPN, that virtual private network, for their remote workers. So if you're at home, they're not mandating that you use that. That just opens up all kinds of security risks. The unprotected wireless network that you're probably working from on your home network is going to create multiple security risks, and we'll talk about why and how to protect from those. So I mentioned it before, but as we talked about, that initial level of protection is the Sophos endpoint security, and having that next generation endpoint security is critical when working remotely. And the solution that we use is considered by many as the world's best endpoint solution from Sophos. And the main part of that is the EDR, or the endpoint detection and response. Most endpoint protection is not going to incorporate this sort of technology, and if you saw the last webinar, you know the advantages and all of the great things that go along with having that endpoint, having the detection and the response immediately. It's the latest technology in endpoint protection, uses that artificial intelligence to detect, protect, and then respond, as we talked about. So going beyond endpoint protection, we want to take things even further and to increase that security. Endpoint protection is big, but we want to build upon that and see what other solutions that we can build in to keep you even more safe. I want to mention that in addition to Intercept X for your computer's workstation, this same technology is also available for mobile devices in the Intercept X mobile. We're not going to talk a ton about that, but the endpoint detection response with the machine learning is the same technology on your endpoint that you can get for your mobile device, and that's something that is we'd strongly recommend if you're using mobile devices for company work. So, as I mentioned, that we're going to talk about the cloud directory service. With login and identity security being so important to work from home security, we're going to implement a cloud directory service from JumpCloud. JumpCloud securely manages and connects users to their IT resources, and this solution works with Mac, Windows, and also Linux systems. JumpCloud's multi-protocol and vendor-independent approach enables the IT admins to provide more flexibility and power for the home worker. So how does this unique ability translate into value for organizations? Well, when discussing the value of JumpCloud, the first place you want to start is the big picture of the benefits, or in other words, the intangible gain that come from using a solution like JumpCloud, including more agility, additional controls, higher level security, and efficiency, which all equates to your bottom line as a business. The directory as a service allows IT admins to have access to a wide variety of management capabilities over user passwords. As admins have the ability to require and enforce stronger password controls, and they can define minimum attributes for passwords. Additionally, IT admins can specify most recent passwords, and that can be reused, or password rotations and things like that. And they can also put in a fail-safe, so if there's a number of failed attempts that it can block the user. Passwords are stored securely within JumpCloud, and on top of that, these passwords are not even known by JumpCloud. They're highly encrypted and used in the system, and only the user has access to it. So it's going to save countless hours of going through associated logins and enabling and disabling access, which again is going to make life much more smoothly and save your bottom line by saving time and making you more efficient. It's comparable with either the solution is compatible with either on-premises or off-prem cloud servers that integrate with multi-applications like your G Suite, your Office 365, CRMs like Salesforce, ConnectWise, which is what we use here at SAF. Whether your file storage is physical or virtual, your networks, whether they're wired or wireless, JumpCloud's going to be able to take care of that for you. So it's a very great solution to allow you one login to multiple platforms, and it's a super easy way to onboard and to offboard employees. So if you have an employee that comes in, you can give them one JumpCloud access password, which is going to allow them encrypted access to all the important programs that your company's running. Here's just a few of the literally hundreds and hundreds of software platforms that JumpCloud integrates with. We use a lot of these, and these are some of the more popular ones, but there's literally a huge list of software programs that JumpCloud integrates with, which means if you have that one JumpCloud password with access, you're going to be able to access all of these programs that are pertinent to your organization, which makes things super easy and nice. I can tell you from using JumpCloud here at our office and seeing how it works for our clients, it is just a really nice way of creating secure sign-ons. Moving on, the next solution that we want to put into this package is an automated agent from ConnectWise. And this is the same tool that SAF uses for all of our fully managed clients. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us the ability for asset discovery. It's going to allow automatic deployment and discovery of endpoint statuses and accountability and efficiency for that workstation. It's going to give us endpoint management, quick management access to resolve issues and to keep your downtime to a minimum. It's going to allow us to do patching, which is super important for security. It's going to keep your system secure and up to date, including all the patch management policies from Microsoft and a ton of other third-party softwares. It's going to give us the ability to monitor. So we're going to be able to proactively take a look at your computer system and see the performance and see if there's things that are going on behind the scenes that we can correct on your machine to make it faster and more efficient. And then lastly, automation. Those repeatable tasks that you do on a daily basis, we can actually automate those things so that they happen more quickly for you, and there's less clicking of the mouse, so that it's an automated feature. If things are done in the same way, shape, and form, the automate agent can just seamlessly create an automation for those tasks. I just focused on a lot of the main things about that agent that SAF uses from ConnectWise, but in addition to what we just talked about, it's also important to talk about these things for the end user. I know this is a large list, and hopefully it gives you the idea of the power and agility of this solution to make things easier. The Automate agent is a super, super valuable tool, and it's going to save you time and money. Not only having this tool will make life easier, it's going to give you the ability to get more work done. Having SAF proactively monitor your system, keep it up to date, apply your preferences, push software, monitor performance and threats to your endpoint. It's going to create save a lot of time by doing those things. These are the things that are going to take the burden off of IT and put it onto us, so that the user can be devoted to doing the tasks that they have at hand. And I kind of mentioned some of the ones that I see us using are software deployment. Like, let's just say your organization has got a new software that you want to implement for all of your workers, including a home worker. The Automate agent allows us to take that software and to push it to all of the computers within your organization very seamlessly with one license, and then we can manage that for you. Okay, so a VPN. Let's talk about VPN, or a virtual private network. Is simply a way that we're going to use to connect different networks separated by the internet using security protocols that are going to allow both authentic and confidential information to travel through the internet over a VPN, or we like to call it like a tunnel. In our present work from home environment, increased security is paramount, and the high demand for companies to have a secure tunnel is very, very important. VPN technology has developed more strongly and is becoming very widespread, and companies are realizing that they need to have a solution like this to keep that transfer of information safe. So in this little illustration, we've got a remote user, and then they would, from your home, you'd go out to the internet, and then you might go to your company's firewall. Well, what the VPN does is that part where it's going to go through the internet, it creates a secure tunnel so that information cannot be seen by any other parties. It's going to hide your IP address and create that secure tunnel back to your firewall. And the bottom part is really illustrating the same thing. It's more the front side of that, where you as the home user, once you're on that VPN, hackers and government or snoopers, things like that, are not going to be able to see that traffic. So it's very, very important, and I would say one of the most important things that you can do from working from home. And we've got a very innovative way of setting you up with a VPN to take care of those tasks for you. So, when you're surfing the internet, everyone uses, or they leave what we call tracks, and the clearest track here is the IP address. And so this is going to allow hackers and attackers to impact your computer directly. Possible consequences, data and identity theft are at the forefront, and in the worst case, this may even involve sensitive bank or customer data and result in huge financial and reputation losses. Anyone surfing via VPN on the internet masks that IP address, and they're going to remain protected. It's also paramount to keep your files and workplace and workstation safe. Many small and large businesses use the VPN to ensure that you're moving in and out of their corporate structure in the most secure way possible. As for a remote employee, the same need is increasingly true, and one can create and allow a remote connection to your home computer with that VPN. And perhaps the greatest benefit for your company from using VPN will be the peace of mind that you're using one of the best technology tools that you can to protect information streams of company information from your remote home office back to your company's headquarters or even to a virtual server. This encryption security means you're less likely to expose private information to the internet, and in addition, your business will not have to suffer downtime due to loss of company or customer information, which leads to things like loss of reputation, and being a company customers can really trust to keep their personal and payment information confidential. On to backups. When searching for a backup solution, you'll find that there are really two types of backups. We've got our file level backup and our image level backup. Now, yes, both will back up your system and save your documents, and we're going to discuss the differences between both of them. File level backups are the most common, and what that's going to do is you simply select the files and the folders that you want to save, and then you're going to back that system up and save those files to a desired location. For most small and medium businesses operating with only a few machines in a home or computing situation, this type of backup is adequate for maintaining your data. The problem is when you start opening many machines or servers, then backing up each file in this granular, specific way becomes a little bit troublesome, and system resources and energy become a little bit more depleted. Backups are vitally important to safeguard a business, and based on your existing technology, we can determine which of the technologies are going to be best for you. Now, the other type of backup that we implement is a little bit higher level and it offers some advantages, and this is the one that we call the image level backup, which is known by things like bare metal or ghost backup or a disaster recovery backup. Basically what it does, it's a clone of your machine. And what it does is it takes a snapshot of your entire system and the backups and all of the changes that take place at whatever time you desire, whether it's hourly or times during the day or even at night. And whatever you want to call it, this image level backup saves not only your files, but your application data, your operating system, your settings, all of your upgrades or patches. I mean, everything is all saved in one recoverable file, which offers a great advantage when it comes to recovery. So the recovery time from an image level backup is really, really fast. Instead of configuring a new computer and installing the BIOS and operating system, all the applications, and then finally transferring all the files that are backed up in the desired location that you put them, the recovered system will look at and behave exactly like the old system. So once you download that one file, everything's going to go back to the way that it was on the system that was lost, whether it was hacked or if you lost your computer, whatever it is. If you have a backup, it's going to restore that system exactly the way it was at the last backup. And imaging your drive makes your data completely portable. So imaged computers can run as a virtual machine from other machines. What if your employees could access their desktop from any network device? What if your business falls into a sinkhole or your laptop were to be stolen or destroyed? You can simply log in from another computer, verify your credentials, and your data will be available. You'll be back to work in a matter of no time. It's going to be a matter of hours as opposed to days and all of the downtime and frustration that's attached to that. With numerous advantages with image level backups, we can provide this additional higher level of backup at an additional cost. This option is going to be the most common option for our business grade clients. Maybe I should mention too that if SAF monitors your system, we are including the standard file level backups at no charge. If image level backups and the advantages that go along with that are something that you want, that is an extra higher level for the solution. Okay, talking more about image level backup. The Datto solution that we use for image level backups is completely secure and housed in a redundant offsite location. So if a disaster were to strike your business or even your region, rest assured that your data will be kept safe and available for you to retrieve when you need it. Many company gives full admin rights to their employees. In this case, those employees could potentially delete files on accident or worse yet, even on purpose. As we know, company employees are every business's great asset, but the data that pertains to that company is the second greatest asset. Having a secure, solid backup solution is the best insurance you can have in case something bad were to go wrong, as like a ransomware or a disaster. Now with our solutions that we've discussed, you're using the best technology that's available to be proactive and keep your system backed up the way that it needs to be. Primary reason for a business continuity plan is to eliminate the downtime. 75% of businesses don't have any sort of business continuity plan or disaster recovery plan. Skipping out on a continuity plan is not only reckless, but extremely expensive. A client we talked to recently indicated that they were hit with a ransomware and they had 10 days of downtime, which was very frustrating for them, and there was very expensive as well. Whether you suffer a natural disaster or a cyber attack, the only way to stay in business is to continue your work as soon as possible. Otherwise, the chances of going out of business is just a very real potential. And the last thing on this solution that we want to include for that deluxe level is our SAF Help Desk. And this is going to give you access to our team of experts. And whether you have an IT department or not, the SAF Help Desk can be available to if you run into issues or with your computer or any other IT problems or challenges that you might have. For companies that may not know where to turn for answers, having access to SAF can be super helpful. Having a help desk team removes the burden of technical support from the owners or the tech-savvy employee that works in your office and puts it on SAF. This allows your business to run more efficiently and allows your team to operate within their core competencies. And we want to make sure that we're available for you in any way that you need. And so we've got multiple ways that you can get in touch with us. You can call our office to open a ticket to get help. You can open a ticket on the SAF automation tool that we talked about with just a few clicks of the mouse. You can send us a text over the text portal we have. We've got our email for our clients that go right to our help desk. And then last but not least, we've got our emergency phone, or we call it our BAT phone, which is the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week phone when you have something that requires urgent need. And we really take pride in helping take the stress away because we understand working in IT how stressful that it can be. So we want to take that burden away from you when possible. At SAF, we've gathered a great amount of information and research about clients to design this solution as well as many other solutions. And we have great confidence that your working home experience will be safer than ever for you and your company if you employ some of the things that we covered today. If you work with any level of compliance, whether it be health, finance, technology, or basically any business where you store sensitive client data or company information, then the things that we covered here really are going to help you out when working remotely. The solution is our most mobile for the protection that we're going to offer, and these technologies create the highest level of protection for that work from home user without actually having to put in hardware into the home office. And so hopefully you gained a better perspective of the technologies that we use to build upon our standard endpoint technology by employing some of these really crucial things for the work from home worker today. So with that, thanks for all of your time today. And don't forget, as I mentioned in our last webinar, if anyone is interested in a trial subscription to the Sophos Intercept X with the EDR, get in touch with me or anyone here at SAF, and we can get you a 30-day trial of that solution for your workstation. And so have a great day, and we hope to see you on our next webinar, which is we will incorporate that hardware into the home office for our highest level of protection that we offer. So thanks for attending, and we'll see you next time.